Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby and have ourselves a drink.
All right, and Michaela is singing, and that means we are back in the lobby bar for the week of May the 27th, 2024. Brian and Michaela here with you. And Michaela, it is Memorial Day here in the United States, so wanted to pay honor to those who have fought and fell for the country here as we celebrate Memorial Day and we celebrate our way into summer. So a lot of people today get together, family gatherings, friend gatherings, do the cookouts, stuff like that. It's the unofficial, official kind of gateway to summer, and you are spending your summer in like the hottest place in the country. So how are you doing down there in
Uh,
Florida?
I'm melting. I'm okay. No, you're absolutely right. Thank you to all of our fallen soldiers and their families for the sacrifices that they have made for this country. I am feeling really good about being in the middle of a heat wave in the middle of Florida. I don't
Mm,
know,
hmm hmm
as of this recording, we don't record. I don't know. We always record kind of at a strange time on our lobby bars, but it's only 8 a.m. where I'm at, and it's like 97 degrees with 90% humidity. So it's almost like being back in Houston. The
Excellent.
caveat, though, is that it's actually pretty here. The beach is pretty, and yeah, the water is nice, so that's exciting. Yeah, it is interesting that for whatever reason, Memorial Day seems to be that opening of the summer, right? So
Hmm
people get together. I know that my husband, who's not with me, he is joining some friends. Jody, thank you for your service, and gonna go and be around some folks for Memorial Day in kind of celebration and remembrance and honoring of our fallen soldiers. So that's kind of interesting, but it's also the gateway to summer. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of a strange time. I think what has been really interesting down here is that frozen drinks are kind of the norm um,
Yeah. With 100
everywhere I go
degrees at 8 a.m.,
because
you need a
it's
frozen drink to make it through the
yeah,
day.
yeah, it is one thing. It's like I don't know. I feel like it's a party everywhere and I've only been here a couple days, but I feel like every restaurant or even the cafes are like, "Would you like a frozen margarita?" And the answer to that is always yes.
The
By the
answer
way,
is always yes. Yeah, I'm not like a huge fan of frozen blended drinks. They certainly have their time and place, and I think that being in Florida in summer is one of those. You posted a picture on our Instagram yesterday of you having said frozen margarita. It did look pretty good, I will say. Pretty delicious, pretty cooling. Looked like. Have you had a favorite of these margaritas yet so far?
so so there was there's the classic. We tried to make a Cadillac margarita, and I think we didn't have the right Cointreau or the right Grand, or did we make it with Grand Marnier? Yeah, we made it with Grand Marnier. So we did that. We called it like a Mercedes instead of a Cadillac because Cadillacs now
Okay.
are not they don't have the same connotation that they used to have. I will say though that that lychee puree stuff.
Mm,
If you put that in a margarita, that's actually really tasty. It
okay.
adds like this freshness to it in the sweetness, so it's a little sweeter than a regular margarita.
Okay.
And but that is lovely, and you can find that in most grocery stores now, which is strange. It could be
hmm
in the international section, or even in like the frozen. There's like a frozen drinks section. At least that's where I found it in Florida. Maybe we don't have that where we normally live,
Everything
where
is
it's not
frozen.
a bazillion degrees. But I feel like
Okay.
I feel like in Florida it's kind of a thing.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. If you want to, you can go back because we made that lychee cordial a couple weeks
Yeah,
back for the Taylor Swift release, the Tortured Poets. There, we made a lychee cocktail there with a lychee cordial. So I imagine you could use that in your
yeah,
margarita as well. Would be a good use for that. And I still have some of that left, so maybe I'll have to check that out. I'll put
yeah,
a link to that show down in the description.
yeah. You should because it's really refreshing and it's really sweet. The other thing that I've been making are virgin because I have my son with me and he's not old enough to drink, and I made him like a virgin Miami Vice. And for anybody that doesn't know, that can also be called a lava flow. It's got a lot of names, but it's basically half of a virgin pina colada mixed with half of a virgin strawberry daiquiri, and you kind of pour it in together so it creates this like
Mm.
almost um like those glow lamp concoctions,
Oh,
right?
like a
It
lava
looks
lamp. Yeah.
like a lava lamp, right? And so
Okay.
it's really good if you like pina colada taste and strawberries. It's really fresh and it's really easy to make with like the mixes. So you just put the mixes in with a blender and go to town on it. It's super easy from a frozen mocktail perspective. So I've been doing
Awesome.
that.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. I've just been doing, tried and true. My parents are here now, so just been doing a couple cookouts here over the weekend. So just been doing, some beers, a little bit of bourbon and things have been going along. But I did see something today that caught my eye, Michaela. I was looking up, what's good for Memorial Day here, what's good for the summertime, and here in our part of the world, specifically you, South Carolina, it's going to be peaches all the time for sure. And I found this recipe. And it's for a bourbon peach tea. Now, you and I are not fans of iced tea, really. Like I can get
Can
down with
confirm.
a hot tea like every once in a while, but like very rarely, very rarely. But iced tea is never my jam. But I saw this recipe and it kind of stood out to me, and I said, this sounds like A, you're going to get a really good peach simple syrup out of it, which is nice because you can use that in a lot of things. And maybe we just need peach simple syrup and bourbon in our iced tea, and that's what we've been missing.
Yeah.
We've been doing iced tea wrong. Maybe that's why we don't
Yeah,
like
maybe
it. So,
that's the key. That's the key to how everybody in the world has been gotten hooked on this iced tea disaster. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'd love to find out. We learn about the history of things when we're making cocktails. I'd love the history of how iced tea came to be. Probably in a
mm,
place that is swampy and gross, like Florida, where they were like, "This tea, this regular tea, this is too hot. This is not gonna cut it." But we need to do something with all this tea because we brought it from England or
we
wherever it
got
was.
we've
Right?
got we've got
It,
tea and it's bitter. Just put in
India
like a
keeps shipping us tea.
bucket of sugar
Yeah,
and some ice and that stuff. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know the history of the sweet tea, but I'm going to tell you how to make this bourbon peach tea right now. So first, we're going to get our bourbon or our peach simple syrup. So let's do this, Michaela. Take 1.5 pounds of peaches. It's about three peaches, roughly, give or take, I guess, depending on the size and status of your peaches. Go ahead and peel those, slice them up, and put them into a little stock pot with 2 cups of sugar and 2 cups of water. Just bring that to a boil and let it sit for about 15 minutes. And then you're going to strain it out and actually like squish the peaches right through a sieve. And that's going to get all that juice and peachy goodness out of there. And then you can actually store that for up to a month, according to the article here on delish.com, which is where we're getting that from. So that sounds great. Peach simple syrup for a month. I like that. You could do like a simple like peach soda, just some club soda and some of this peach simple syrup. That sounds nice and good for the summer. It sounds like something that would go really good with gin, a gin and tonic, kind of our favorite jam around here. But you got your peach simple syrup, and then you're basically just going to make some iced tea, right? So do your iced tea, and then you're going to add some of this peach simple syrup and some bourbon to taste on that. And I think that's the way I like tea from now on. Might hold the tea, maybe just the peach simple syrup and the bourbon. Hold the
just the
tea,
peaches.
please. But that sounded pretty good, and that sounded very summery to me. And we're speaking to the masses here, and I think we're in the minority when it comes to liking tea, especially sweet tea here in the South. So.
Yeah. Peaches, 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 peaches. I
She
love
she promised me off air that wasn't going to
you.
happen. She promised
Yeah.
me. That's okay. That's okay. If she keeps
Like,
up this singing act, I'm not going to take her out anywhere fun. Because last week we also went to a place. Just wanted to highlight here, real quick in Charlotte. So we went to dot 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 and basically ran through their cocktail list. Was there anything like inspired tasting that you had at the restaurant this week,
yes.
Michaela?
Yeah, no, I had this amazing, it was a rose garden party is what it was called. And it was really amazing. It had some cucumber gin, so some Hendrix gin in there. It had some a rose cordial that they hand made with a little bit of like maybe matcha syrup because it was green.
Okay.
It was amazing. It was really fresh. It had some cucumber juice in it as well. You could really so the cucumber came really strong, and the kind of the rose cordial in the background kind of added this floral hint to it. It was beautiful, and it had this lovely like flower on the top of it. It was great. That was by far, I think, my favorite. But they've got this really cool thing at dot dot dot. If you're in the Charlotte area and you love a speakeasy, do it, because first of all, it's everything a speakeasy should be, and that it's really hard to find. We I wasn't gonna call. I wasn't gonna call. And then I was like, we've been walking around for 10 minutes. I have no idea where this place is. So that's kind of cool. But also the cocktails, they have this whole back section of their menu for their cocktails that are what do they call them? The reserve selection. And they like go extra on the presentation and what's in it. It's really like all local stuff. And that's where you
Mhm.
got some of your favorites from.
Yeah, for sure. I had a couple of cocktails there, and yeah, they were really good and really inspired there. I had one. I think my favorite of the ones I had was called the Blurred Word, which was bourbon, Genepiene, Alpine liqueur, which I think we've used before. Actually, it's just kind of this pine forward sort of I don't know, like vermouth aperitif kind of a thing. The Luxardo cherry liqueur, which is delicious, and then some lemon juice in there as well. That one was really inspired and nice. But yeah, if you have a local speakeasy or bar, go check them out and see what they're doing with cocktails, because it's probably going to inspire you a lot in your own cocktail creations. And definitely drop us a line on social media and let us know, what's local to you or anything fun that you're having, because we love hearing about that stuff. And then if we're, traveling, when Michaela goes to Florida, if there's a local one down there, let us know so she can go check it out, so we can find these places for sure. So that's what we've been getting up to at drink wise. Box office this week, Furiosa, Mad Max Saga just edged out to Garfield, the two new releases there, 25.5 million dollars here. We're still getting Monday results. I guess it's the holiday weekend here in the US. So we'll see how that ends up wrapping up. But not bad, not bad. We are got our tickets secured for Furiosa. We're going to be going to see that next weekend and then covering it on a future episode. So stay tuned for that. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes still hanging around there, fourth place over the weekend, $13.5 million. And we're going to be talking about that this week on the main episode. Last week, Michaela, we talked about the original, the OG Planet of the Apes. This week, we're talking about the new Planet of the Apes. And I have to tell you, we saw this just kind of this past week. We've got the episode recorded early because you are in Florida. But the more, like, the further I get away from having seen the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, the more I like it, I think.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I was actually trying to explain it to my son, who's now like he's caught up a little bit late, right? Like we started to watch the Planet of the Apes saga at my house, and at first he was like, "Nah, this ain't cool," and I was like, "Dude, you are missing out." And then he kind of got bit by the bug halfway through my watching, and so now he's way behind. But he was asking me how Kingdom of Planet of the Apes was, and I kept going on and on, and it was like, man, I should have put that in the podcast. But yeah, it's so good. If you've not seen it, I really recommend you watching it. It's worth your time for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we've got that coming everyone's way next week here. So definitely looking forward to talking about that. And we've got a couple of new releases here. Now, one of these, Michaela, we talked about on our Patreon hangout. We did that this past week. It was really fun. We streamed it on YouTube for our patrons. Every month we do a cocktail hangout for our cocktail connoisseur club, and then a movie chat hangout for our red carpet club. You can get more information on that, or get the recordings of that, or make sure you're scheduled and ready to go for our next hangout next month. That's on patreon.com/drinkthemovies. So go check that out. But we've got a new release coming. I think we're both pretty keen on seeing this. We'll see how it shakes out here as our schedules keep getting busier and busier this summer. But Young Woman in the Sea coming out this week. Michaela, this is the true story of Trudy Ederle, who swam the English Channel in 1926, almost 100 years
Wow.
since this woman accomplished such a monumental feat. But what do you think? We saw the preview for this. Are you looking forward to this one?
I am. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think it's got like Oscar contender all over it. I love these kind of, I don't know, biopic historical movies that show this moment of time.
Mhm.
I'm excited about I think you were the one who told me that the person who directed this is very familiar with being around water, um
Hmm.
and
Presumably,
some of that,
yeah, yeah.
which is cool
Joachim
because
Joachim Roning, yeah, directed one of the Pirates of the Caribbean films. So,
yeah. So
presumably, yeah.
that should be good, because I think that does, in order to really tell a story on the sea, there's some techniques that you probably need, because this is going to be a very personal voyage, as well as like this epic kind of touch the world kind of thing, right? Like it's got that
Mhm.
duality to it, the story.
Yeah, exactly. I think, best case scenario, we're talking about it again, come Oscar time, and worst case scenario, it exposes a lot of people around the world to Trudy Etterly and her story, and I think that that's pretty awesome. So we've got that coming. We've got another thing coming to Disney Plus. Actually, I watched the Beach Boys documentary this past week. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. But we have another documentary coming to the Disney Plus here this week, May 31st. Jim Henson, Idea Man. That's being directed by Ron Howard. That's going to be probably sad. Michaela's already making a sad face, but it's also going to be joyous and a celebration of all things Jim Henson and the Henson Company. And I'm
Yeah.
pretty excited for that. So,
Yeah. No, I'm very excited. I'm excited for both of those because I hadn't seen the Beach Boys one yet. But I did see it show up on my Disney Plus yesterday. So gonna happen this week, probably most likely. Jim Henson, look, if you grew up in the 80s or even the 70s, I mean, if you know, how could you not be touched by some of some character that Jim Henson has made has touched you? I
mhm.
guarantee it. And
Yeah.
or made you laugh or made you think or I mean, yeah. So it's so cool. And I remember he had died, I think he died in the early 80s. So when like I started to watch like the all the Muppet movies, like the Christmas Carol or like the Great Muppet Caper, that was my favorite growing up because of the synchronized swimming deal that Miss
Mm-hmm.
Piggy did. I remember being like, this is amazing. And my dad was really sad because Jim Henson had died. So yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, Jim Henson passed away in 1990. But yeah, the legacy definitely lives on, and this is coming right on the doorstep of the 40th anniversary of the Muppet movie, which is going to be back in theaters, I think, doing some screenings as well. So if you get a chance to get out and see that, but definitely looking forward to Jim Henson Idea Man. So with that, Michaela, I think we better let you go. You have a lot more frozen drinks, I think, to explore here the rest of the week that you're in Florida. I'm going to go out,
Peaches, peaches, peaches.
kick off my summer. I'm going to go see if I can find some peaches somewhere and make up some of that simple syrup and then get busy because we still have a packed summer full of travel and drinks and movies to watch for sure. So thank you so much for joining us this week in the lobby bar. Have a safe and happy holiday weekend here. Celebrate safely for sure out there. And thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you next time.